Hello everyone, welcome back to more chess, playing 1510 as white against Mark 62. How old would be a person born in 62 right now? Uh, 59? Yeah, that's how math works. Of course, no proof that's what 62 means. Maybe he's just the 62nd mark in his family line. Who knows? We'll continue. I think I seem to play the Italian. That's apparently what this is, and I play it a lot, so I guess that's what I play. Um, can't really do this yet. Let's just put out another knight. Yeah, this is the Italian knight. No, I don't know. If they go here and then I go here, it's the four knights or something. I don't know. It's a mystery. This is also a move I'd like, anchoring the bishop. Not sure why this so quickly. They're really concerned about this, I guess. Fine. I mean, I don't really want to draw my king out here. I think I'll just castle. I don't think they should sack the bishop, but there's also nothing really pressing for me to do other than castle anyway, so let's just do that now. I guess, another thing I could try would be this to chase away the defender of this square. That might have been a better play, now that I look at it. They probably have somewhere to put him that would be proactive enough that... I don't know. Yeah, I think I should have done this first. I don't know. They could have just... Okay. They could have responded in this way anyway, and then be like, fine, take my knight if you want him. This is still protected. And so that would have been fine, I guess. This is a great place for a knight. Just because it's kind of hard for them to get a pawn here to kick it away. And their light square bishop is their good one, so I would be happy if they wanted to make a trade with it here. So we'll just... I don't know. I mean, I could improve the knight. Or you do this first. I want to get the knight out to a better square. I don't know. Then this is a little weak. There's lots of ways I can defend it if they do this, which they very well might. Yeah, let's just make the knight a little bit more irritating. I don't know. I guess the problem is it gives them this, which is... I don't know, it's fine. We would each be spending 2 moves with our knights, and then I can stick my bishop here, and that would be nice for me, I think. We're planning this next, assuming nothing funny happens. It defends the pawn, which is the other thing they're threatening with knight here. Knight f6 is what I should say, not knight here. That's true, I guess. I should probably prioritize... I don't know. Yeah, that's why I should do this earlier, I guess. I always forget how, annoying this pin is. There's no easy way out of it. Because even if you push here, you can't get your queen off the diagonal and still be defending, which you want to do because you don't want this, right? So here is what they should play, and that's why you should do this first, I think. I don't like how this has gone. I mean, we could get the rook out here, I guess, if they try to maintain the pin. Which they should, I think. But no, a rook here is just horrible. Yeah. I think I made a mistake in this opening. At some point, I should have played this sooner. I could retreat the bishop, but since I want a pawn here, I don't really want a bishop getting getting blocked like that. Also, where am I even going to put the knight? I guess here. Yuck. I could try to chase away that bishop, I guess. Yeah, don't they have to react to this? They have to react to this with here, I guess, because otherwise I get this and I actually do get the bishop. I don't win it, but I get to trade it for my knight, which is probably nice because the bishop's doing a good job. Yeah, let's just try that. I guess they could also play knight here so that my knight no longer threatens this square, which is the bishop's main attempted escape route if they don't do this. Yeah, so I should... Okay, ooh. Piling up on the knight, okay. Interesting. Hmm. And also, I guess, threatening here so that queen can't take because we've dropped this. So if here, yeah. That I think that's what they're trying to do. Is enable the bishop to come in here. Mm-hmm. Not a lot I can do about it. I can defend with the bishop, but they can take here, and I'm still in the pin, and I've lost my bishop. But it's not a very good bishop. Okay, I guess I'll try that. And then if they don't actually take, this is my chance to rescue the knight. Oh, isn't this good for me? Because now this discovery, I guess it's fine. Here they retake. Or they don't recapture. Instead, they go after my bishop. Then I retake, and then they recapture. Still, I think it's an improvement for me for sure. It gets my knight out of this horrible situation. Recaptures here, I think, would be a blunder. Likewise here. So assuming they take here, is there some way I can do some trick? Yes, right? I can take with the knight. And now the bishop has... There's no way to retake my knight. Nice. Yeah, I didn't realize. I saw that this was creating some tactic if they didn't take, but I didn't realize that it was actually something they seem unable to avoid. Okay, they're gonna, make some advancing pawn moves. That's very nice, I'm sure. I'm gonna be on the defensive for a little while. I think I'll go here, watch over this square. I just have to, hang on. until I can convert my material advantage into like something more usable. There's this. Activates the bishop. It's defended twice, so they can't just take. They have to move with the bishop to one of these squares, and then maybe here to open things up a bit. I don't know if I want to open things up. I think I do. Yeah, like I have more material. Shouldn't I want a more open position? I mean, I guess, okay, fair. They can, in fact, just take. It just doesn't win them any material to do so. And then I have this to actually chase the bishop away. Because right now he's a little... No, the knight's not pinned. He can just move. This is not really a threat. But the pawn is... If the knight moves, the pawn becomes pinned, and I would rather avoid that. Now, there is knight here, and the only way the bishop could avoid being traded would be to run all the way back here. Whereas if here, the bishop could go just to there, control a bit more of the board, be more flexible. The downside, of course, is that then I have a knight in this crummy square. But it also lets me... Oh, no, I don't want to do this. That would trap my knight. Okay, maybe here, here, here? To get the knight behind a pawn? I don't think that's really worth spending time on right now. What about just bishop here? Resolving this whole pin situation. But making it pretty hard to defend this pawn a second time, which they're threatening to pile up on. Yeah, I don't think I should do that. I can play this like with tempo, and I think it is an improvement, so I may as well. And then like knight here to protect this a bit more. No, that drops this pawn. I could track him down, chase him down even more, but that's just 2 moves invested to make him run here. I really don't think it's worth it. By the way, keep in mind, this is X-raying my king. I've made that mistake numerous times before, including very recently. Right, we've discussed why this is not such a great idea. Blocks control of this pawn. We have to do something like this to defend it. It's definitely awkward. This doesn't do anything, I don't think. This also doesn't seem to do much, but I guess it lets me get tucked back here if necessary, and still preserves the ability to defend this pawn quite a lot. Okay. Now they have the responsibility to guard this pawn, so that's something. Right now the queen is doing it, but it may become inconvenient for her to keep doing it in the future. This pawn is a huge pressure point. I wonder if I could have just like pushed it at some point. I don't think that point has ever quite existed. I just love to sort of have this all resolved. I could consider just giving up a pawn instead of like doubling down on trying to keep it alive forever. Oh, I don't want to go here to defend the pawn. That drops the knight. It would have to be here. Which I think is fine. It's also a knight here, maybe, at some point. Because remember, the knight isn't actually pinned. It's just like if he moves, the pawn gets pinned. Like, that's not that big a deal, I think. I could get out of it like this now. And this doubles up on the D pawn. I hate their dark square bishop. Uh, it's got to be their best piece right now, right? I mean, obviously, yes, the queen is stronger. Like, if they could choose which piece to lose, it would not be the queen; it would be the dark square bishop. But like, in terms of like how much better a piece is than its average value, I think the dark square bishop is very high. The rook here is pretty bad. This rook is fine, maybe even good. This knight is okay. Queen kind of bad compared to how she usually is, but this bishop is quite good, I think. I don't even have a best piece. They're all kind of blah. Maybe this rook. I could make this knight a lot better by moving him here. This has got to be my worst piece, right? Look at this bozo. I don't know. I mean, he's defending this. That's something. But he just has so few options right now. The rook isn't doing much, but could someday. Whereas if this knight moves, he just actually makes things worse by blocking this. Yeah. So all this guy is doing is trying to keep a pawn alive. Mm-hmm. So I think I like captures. And then I imagine they take with pawn. And then I move the knight so that this bishop's view is blocked forever. Not forever, but it's not convenient for them to. Now, they might be thinking, okay, now I have discovery against your knight. But I don't really care. I just move the knight, and it's like great for me. The alternative would be to not capture. Just get over here immediately. Now if takes... I'm threatening this pawn twice. 3 times, actually, because the queen's there. And the queen isn't yet contributing to this file because this pawn is still in place, so I don't have to worry about something like queen or bishop here. I think I prefer not taking that pawn. The downside is it lets them open the bishop back up. But if they do so, they open my rook, so I'm happy with that too. Also, I can consider what piece do I want to take this pawn with if they let me. Like, queen might be a pretty cool idea, attacking the undefended bishop and also offering a queen trade. Both of which are things I want to do. Right? I like the sort of natural move for them is this, and I can't just take the pawn immediately. I don't think that works. Because they're threatening to just take here, so I would have to recapture and then go in for something here. I'd love to establish a knight on this square, I guess. He would be a really nice piece to have there. It's you love knights deep in the enemy territory, and I could back the bishop up all the way to here, just anchor him in. No piece is ever gonna, no pawn is ever gonna attack that knight. Maybe even try this to tie him in tighter. Okay, so they defend. But now takes. And then if recaptures, I get the queens off. I mean, I can actually win a pawn here. I know, right? This, or something. But that makes life awkward for my queen, maybe. I'd rather just get a trade in. Simplify rather than try to squeeze out an extra pawn. I don't know. It's improving their pawn structure, maybe, but now notice, by the way, they have to take with bishop. They have to recapture the queen with the bishop. They can't do it with the rook because then their bishop is hanging. So I don't have to worry about a rook here threatening to take this file from me. I can play like rook a d1 next. Or I don't know, maybe rook a b1. This is a weakness. They kind of have to respond with rook b8 to defend, so I can continue improving after this. Then maybe get a knight in here. No, I still have to watch over this square. I could push, but I don't think I want to. There's knight here. Ah, piling up on the b pawn as well as doing a million other great things. Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. They don't have to actually defend that if they don't want to. Sure. So threatening to maybe deflect my knight from the defense of this pawn. But it doesn't actually work because I can take with the rook. If they get the rook behind, then as a prep move to this pawn push, then I can respond with pushing the pawn of my own pawn here. And that frees up the knight from having to defend. And makes this square. Actually, my bishop is watching this, so they can't even put the rook there. So this is not really a threat at all. I might just like to put the knight here anyway, though. It's a nice improvement for him. It makes this pawn a bit more mobile. Attacks here, so I can... Oh no, right. They just take. So maybe here first? That blocks the bishop. I don't want to do that. Yuck. Defend. There you go. It does weaken my king because they have this dark square bishop, so maybe that wasn't a great idea. But I wanted to do something. That's a cool move. And this rook has a responsibility. He can't just... I can't move him up here because then I drop this pawn. This one isn't stable because of this pawn push. So in fact, the way to defend is bishop here. I don't like this. Now they can attack the bishop, and I have to defend with a rook, and it gets messy. Actually, I guess this would be fine. I mean, I like having my pawns on light squares because of my dark square bishop. It just means, like, my king is a little bit unhappy about their dark square bishop. Oh, now the knight is pinned, though. Oh, this doesn't work. Push. Takes. And what am I supposed to do? I mean, I can defend the bishop like this, I guess. But the knight is in trouble. This push is killing me. I don't think they had to do this. I don't think it really helped either. Oh, maybe it did, because now they can threaten to win this pawn? No, it's defended by a pawn now. Maybe I should have stepped up. Get my bishop out of the pin? But he's stuck to the knight right now anyway. I don't know. I'm definitely mismanaging this endgame. Middle game? I guess it's a middle game. But if they give me just a moment of breathing room, I can move... Oh, I can move the knight now, right? No. I could if I moved him here to defend the bishop. Yeah, see, okay. Yeah, this is why this didn't work. Oh no, this is even worse, because now if they take the knight... Ugh. Now if I capture, they pin my rooks together. Oh, I hate it. I could... I don't know, then they just win this. This is awful. Well, I can win a rook. And then they win a knight and get the exchange. So I'm not, like, losing after that. But can I do anything better? I hate this. There's no cool moves with check or anything. Yeah. So I lost my material advantage when they got this attack against my knight, and then I went into a pin as the only way to defend. If I had moved this rook up instead of this one over, I wouldn't have had this problem. I was thinking I needed it to defend this pawn, when I realized I don't anymore, so I think I could have done that and been okay. But at least I have a more active rook. And a better kingside pawn structure, but I'm worried about the queen side, obviously. I also have a more active knight. Theirs is kind of stupid right now. He has some work to do before he can go anywhere. I guess this would be his path forward. Something like that. I don't know. That's no good. I think it would be here. But then this... I don't know. There's also knight here. Attacking the rook, but just going into a pin, it would be awful. Don't do that. Actually, maybe start getting the king involved. Yeah, that's a good idea. This rook attack doesn't quite do anything, I think. And if I tried to go for it, I would be ceding the d-file to my opponent, whereas getting the king here is quite useful. To watch over the rook's entry squares. There's this one, but my knight has that. And then I can maybe start doing things with the rook. I guess this? Oh, okay. They're just going to go straight in for that, huh? I think I'm okay trying to just stop that before it gets here. And then there might be some idea of this push. If takes, I lose a pawn, but I get in front of the enemy pawn, and it's hard for the rook to stop it. And I take away the defender of this pawn, and you can try stuff like this. But I don't think I wanted to hurry on that. I just want to get my king involved. I don't think the opponent has anything really huge they can do before any of this works. Maybe that. I don't know. I guess they could push by, and then if this is a little bit awkward. Where's he going? Over here somewhere. This kind of forces this, and then... Or actually rook here, maybe? Yeah, I don't want to do that. This forces a rook move, but they might just go here. Or, oh, here, right. That's why this whole thing is still bad. I think this idea is okay now. I don't know. I still want to get my king one step closer to the action. Now I could afford knight here if I wanted. Okay, they're coming to this square. We can try to stop... Or this square, I guess? I don't think I care if they get here with some check. I just step up. Should be okay. Ah, no, they're coming here. So I'd have to step back in that case. You know what, let's just push that pawn. Okay, he's going over there. Now I can't do this. He's defending that pawn as well. I'm not sure what to do anymore. Does he want to get there? I don't think so. Now he's kind of stuck to this pawn, at least for a moment. And I have the idea of my knight coming over here. And then maybe here. Their knight wants to get to this guy, but it's a long route, I think. It has to be like this. And if they do, they instantly like drop this pawn, right? What's their king up to? He'd like to get here, but I'm watching that, so he can't really, right? I think I just push some of these guys. That drops this, you idiot. Oh, it was already falling because of this. What am I doing? Oh no, it was. I had a pawn guarding it, so it was okay. Now I'm in a horrible shape. Oh my god. Started to run out of time. Got panicked. Okay, if they don't notice it, I'm immediately playing this. That would be a tremendous outcome. But I think they get this rook in, and it's just like, just awful. They want the knight instead. I guess that's fair. Threatening these, which I can't defend both of. And they both come with check. Discovered check as well. Yikes. I guess I'll defend this one. Ugh, I hate everything. Mostly I hate that pawn push. There goes the rook. I hate knights, that's what I hate. I give up. There's no hope anymore. Ah, what a frustrating one. I had such a clear advantage after they let me get this whole thing in. Right, they needed to capture here, I'm pretty sure. Or here might have been fine as well, I don't know. Yeah, probably would have. And then I got the queens off even? Like, that's great. I don't know, this rook move is probably bad. Because they don't mind playing this pawn move. They're perfectly happy to play it. I just like didn't consider that they could do so. And I thought like it. I mean, it's not bad to be on a half open file, but I think the center is where I want the action to be. I could just like push this to relieve some of my pieces of their obligations, and I'm clearly ahead at this point by a lot. I have material and position, I think. This move made things a lot more awkward for me. Yeah. And I could actually have just stepped up with the rook. to get out of the pin. I was thinking I needed to defend the knight, and I think already forgotten that I, on the very previous move, had taken care of this guy more reliably so that I could step up. And then this pin is gone. That would be a much better move. This was asking for trouble, but I think I still could have gotten out of it like this. Is that true? No. I just would have lost less. Rook here, as discussed, doesn't work because of pawn push. So if I step up this way instead, they still get this idea. 2 minor pieces for the rook. But they don't also get the exchange. They don't have the rooks lined up. This would have reduced... Playing this way, I would still have an advantage, but it would be smaller. Whereas the way I played, I actually, like, lost my entire advantage. But I still think I was in good shape here. I had this very healthy... I don't know, maybe it wasn't so great. But this was the real wonder that just completely gave away the game. The knight here threatens so many things. I didn't even notice it was threatening the rook. I saw the double check picking up a pawn and was like, I gotta get out of that. It would have been better to move the rook out of harm's way and give up another pawn and some more tempo. But I would still be pretty losing, I think. Let's see how much of this that I've just said the computer agrees with. Indeed, f4 is the blunder that loses the game, and I was, in fact, ahead here. Dropping the rook, like, was bad, but, you know, you were already way, way, way behind. Right, rook a d8, as I said, well, would this have been okay as well? Yeah, it's also fine. This is the big problem, because this diagonal. This is better, I guess, because the rooks defend each other now. And they still get this. Yeah, so the bishop here was, as I mentioned, it, like, created a problem. And this made the problem worse. Rook here would have been fine. It doesn't like pawn there, which is a little interesting. All right, well, let's check out the mistakes here. We've already sort of seen them. Okay, yeah. So this was bad. I said I should go here, and the computer agreed. I thought here, but this would also... So apparently would have been a little bit better. It says this. No, they're both fine. Oh, whoops, not that. This is slightly better, apparently. Because it stays on the open file, sure. Oh, it doesn't like the king move, huh? What's that? What's wrong with that? Is now my chance to come in here? Or this? Oops. This? Knight here to stop the knight arriving there, but then he goes this way, right? So... maybe it is this. Yeah, I thought that they could just, like, push and be okay. Maybe they can't, because then I can step back. Yeah, okay. I put their rook into passive mode by doing this, because this allows, I thought, rook here? Ah. I was thinking they can't push either one to get out of it, but they can actually push this one, and it's attacking my pawn. So push, takes, takes, but they've activated this guy. Apparently I'm supposed to go here. I don't quite understand that. Oh, it keeps their rook from being able to help, I guess. And then if they try any of this stuff, I don't have to retake with the pawn. So I wanted to play this, but I thought I wanted to get my king over here first, but I guess I don't have to do it first. Because the rook will still be controlling the file if he comes up here. And it encourages their rook to leave the action. Oh, also frees this up, I guess? That's kind of cool. Not sure exactly what I gain out of it. Just a way for my knight to relocate, I guess. Alright. Yeah, this was obviously a blunder. Not sure what I should have done. King up. This. That was the problem. I didn't see what to do. I wanted to try to make some progress with these pawns. But this is not the way to do it. This also obviously is not. I could make a knight move. The knight's not busy. He could go here. Threatening these squares. The rook is currently guarding both, but if he ever moves, I can take the other one. I don't know. I think it must be something like this. It says that's okay, but it wants me to attack the knight. I didn't realize I could do that. But doesn't the knight just go like here? He can't go anywhere from this square. He wants to go here, but he can't because my knight is guarding it. And if takes, I'm pretty sure I can get... I can get my king over here in time. I just don't know if maybe the rook can interrupt me. Ah, but that deflects him from guarding the pawn. Right. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's fair to say I didn't deserve to win this one. Apparently I just slowly inaccuracied away my advantage in the early game. Okay, let's look at... It says bishop there was a mistake. So I wasn't supposed to, like, try to stop it. I should just let them do it if they want to. And then? On here? Baffling. Oh, controlling the knight, I guess. Yeah, that's true. Because after what I played, they immediately jumped the knight in there. Yes, this is a weak spot for me. And the knight piling up on my knight is unpleasant. And it says, to salvage this situation, you have to blow up your kingside structure. Whereas it would have been better to stop the knight getting here. I see. However, they missed the tactic. And I had this huge advantage. It says knight here? Yeah, that's true. This is a great spot to get to. I ran over here. Don't know why. Defending the pawn seemed nice, I guess. And all this time, it's like, just get your knight there. Yes, it pins the pawn. Who cares? I finally did it when they made me. It says don't trade queens. Why? What tactic do I have here? Or is defending this pawn an important job? What happens if I go here? I'm still threatening this bishop. Sure. And I'm threatening this attacking the knight and discovering an attack on the pawn. So it's saying they should blockade to stop that, but then I trade. And they get a rook here. But I oppose the queen. Okay, I don't know. This is a bit messy. Okay, we've kind of reviewed all these mistakes now. It says you don't have to stop their pawn advancing. It doesn't want to advance anyway. I guess that's true. It wouldn't have another defender because this guy can't join it. So just get the king moving already. And then just a very blunderful endgame. Okay, well, one of these days we'll get over that stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.